What's up, guys? It's your boy Live for Peace back at you again with another banger. This week's video is going to be just like the previous Sundays, where I provide you guys with my weekly forecast of all the pairs I'm looking at, all the directions I think the market is going in, and all the necessary things you need to have a productive trading week, right? So for the previous previous 2 Sundays, I created those videos and it has been really well, right? It's went really well. So I think I'm gonna try to keep that consistency going where I provide you guys with proper information moving forward. Also, for all you guys that hit that subscribe button, I thank you guys. This is gonna be a slow and steady and a little bit difficult road for me on YouTube, but guess what? We're gonna keep at it. We're gonna be consistent. We're gonna keep dropping gems. So you guys just keep tuning in, keep looking out for all those new videos, right? Yes, guys, so I'm not gonna keep you guys waiting any longer. Please like, share, and hit that subscribe button. All right, thank you. All right, guys, so gotta get your coffee in the mornings, bro. Get your coffee in every single morning. All right, for today's video on a regular weekly forecast, I think this is number 3, the weekly forecast video number 3. So I hope you guys like it. All right, let's dive right into it. All right, so far on NZDUSD, if you guys will watch the first 2 or even the most recent one that I posted on Sunday, you guys need to tune into that video. You guys will see where I was explaining the whole retest of here and the breakout and all of that, right? So you realize everything that I talked about, happened, right? So this week now, around Friday, I realized that the market was consolidating on NZDUSD like crazy for a few days, from May 12 until 13. Oh, just one day, right? One day it was consolidating, right? But the craziest part about this type of consolidation is that we could have gotten a bounce here and price continued to the downside, right? But if you realize right above at price 0.62516, we had a break above, a retest, and a push, right? So let's dive down, right? So on Friday, I was looking at this trade and I realized that price was approaching this bigger resistance zone, right? So, usually these smaller zone doesn't really matter whenever price gets to the actual zone, because you saw what happened the last time price touched the zone. It tried to push to the downside, right? So I was kind of looking at the same thing happening, right? So right around here, if you see, we had that structure being formed, right? Meaning what? Price getting to a zone, it started creating what? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, but leaving liquidity around this area, right? So in my mind, I was saying, all right, cool. The first thing I kind of noticed is this zone is above the overall consolidating zone that's right here, right? Usually I would like this to, be somewhere closer to here. When it breaks it and goes down and then comes back to retest within the zone and then the drop. This one was here. So I was saying to myself, maybe we're going to have a retest in the zone, which takes this liquidity here and then a push to the upside, which would support my GU explanation that you guys are going to see, right? So yeah, once I got that retest of this area, price has already gone. But the craziest thing is, it's all of these, these retests and push that the market did happen like literally before the market closed. So I wasn't going to end, right? But for this week, for sure, I'm looking at, price probably continuing to the downside, because now we've broken this overall monthly zone right here. If I go on the higher time frame, right? This is a monthly zone or a daily zone, right? So now we've broken it and now price is coming. If you look, I'm gonna go here. The line chart, we had that break. Let's go on the weekly. We didn't really have that break on the weekly. So on the weekly, it literally shows us that we're literally approaching this zone and we're just getting reactions from it, right? So I'm being patient because I think that the full structure of the full market structure that we've had started from here, somewhere here. So I'm expecting price to know what? Complete this drop that's happening right here, dropping all the way back down to here. So if that happens, what I'll be looking for this week on these pairs is potential, entry areas coming in from here or here or here. But I am going to stick to what? Sells as much as I can. I'm going to try to stick to sells. Why? Because once we're not above this zone, which is 0.63694, and also, let's put another one above here and here, I am still gonna try to see if I can get sales once I get my patterns, right? But for now, we had this breakout of this consolidation, price retest. Now price is pushing. The most we can do is just move with the market for now, meaning what? If it's gonna go up, we're not gonna be stubborn. We're gonna try to see if we can be a part of all of this move going back to the upside or whatever, right? Because as you can see too, this consolidation kind of makes sense with, as I said, my GU explanation, right? So there's not really a lot on NZDUSD right now. The only good thing is we had a nice breakout of consolidation and a retest. The only thing for me is if you look right here, right, and I go on the line chart on the 4 hour, what do you realize? We have a continuation, of lower lows, lower highs being formed. So if price, if price decides to, because this is the zone that the market respected to break this weekly, daily, monthly zone, maybe we could get a retest into this area again to give us the drop to complete the full market structure I showed you on our weekly chart. Because if we can really get this fully market structure completion to happen, that would be good. But the good part, the good part about all of this too is that the zone that we're approaching is a very, 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 very strong support and resistance. Well, a support zone, right? But if you look right here, the market kind of created these patterns. Let me show you. So from a weekly perspective, boom, we had that breakout and then price retesting. If you look, we had that retest, right? So now that we had that retest here and the market is dropping, I'm not gonna be stupid and be like, okay, the market is gonna buy. If it's gonna buy, I'll get in. If it's gonna continue to sell, I'm gonna continue with it, right? But we gotta pay a lot of attention to this zone right here at this zone right here, right around 0.62655, right? Or 0.62700. That zone right there is a very crucial zone that we got to watch. But if, as I mentioned, if I get my entries, if I get setups to sell back to the downside, I will, right? But if the market's going to continue to go up, I'm going to try to keep going with it, all right? So that's just a simple explanation I have, right? So I am really pissed about GU, to be honest, right? Why? Because, in my free Discord group, I'm going to show you guys, right? In my free Discord group, I actually called the trade, giving the whole explanation and everything way before the market decided to do all of this, right? And just because, my rules, I don't want to be in any trades over the weekend. And this was basically the weekend, like at the end of the week, like 2 hours before the market closed. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get in it. Now, looking at this, price is already pushed over 33 pips, right? From where I wanted to end, right? So I'm kind of upset, but I'm going to give you guys a quick breakdown and show you where I'm really looking at, GU going, all right? All right, so once you look at GU, right, from the weekly perspective, right, what do you realize, right? GU is finally back at that point that it pushed off back in May of 2020, all right? So May of 2020, price pushed off from this zone, and this is the first time that the market came back to this spot, right? So in my mind, I'm saying, okay, cool. My initial analysis, don't pay attention to these, but my initial analysis, if you've been following me on Instagram or anything, you guys would have seen where I mentioned that I think price is going to drop, right? The funniest thing is I got into entries from here and I told myself I'm going to hold, all right? Now, I told myself like this would have been my best trade ever if I had held my interest I took from all the way up to here, all the way down. But this is 5 months of holding a trade. You know, I've never done it before. So, you know, personally, I didn't take the trade. And I didn't hold the trade long. I think I hold it for a majority of it, but you know, I didn't. I think I came out of these trades around here, and then that's when I started doing scaling trades, trying to get in on all of this, right? But now the market's finally back at this point. I personally think that we're going to probably see price, you know, giving us a lot of push-ups, you know, meaning going back to the upside a little bit wide just because we're at this strong weekly zone, right? Weekly, monthly, whatever zone you want to call it, right? So if I'm going to take trades this week, right, look at this. First, the market created that lower low, lower high, pushing to the downside, meaning our regular pattern of what? Prices dropping lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And when price gets to here, it does this, right? What we're looking for is a breakout of here and a retest back into this zone to now give us this impulse, right? This is what we got. And I show you right here, this is what we got. We got price pushing down, the impulse pushing up, price coming to retest. There's two good things. Once price came back to retest, it created that support, right? There's a support that's created right here. And also we have this nice W pattern right here, right? Next thing too, we created a resistance zone, right? So we had a point, that a structure that we need to break if we want to go to the next zone, to the upside, which is at price 1.23029, right? So when this zone created, we realized price did what? Did a little bounce, right? So we had what? A little bit of consolidation. And what pattern presented itself? A breakout trade, right? Simple breakout trade, meaning if we get a solid close on the 1 hour or even on the 2 hour, we should be expecting a pullback because we had a bunch of 1 hour candles that was failing to close above the zone. And we finally had that, because that's something that you guys need to pay attention to whenever you're taking your trades, if you're a support or resistance trader. One, you got to be patient and look at the chart to see the bigger picture, to see what pattern is actually presenting itself, right? In this instance, that's our consolidating, right? And what we realize is, what's next? Find a time frame that shows the chart pretty clean, and you can see what time frame, you know, you had the most rejections from. For me, it would have been on the 1 hour, right? Because it shows me the information clearly. So it's been how many 1 hours? So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We had 18 1 hour candles. So that's 18 hours of price rejecting from this zone at 1.22259, right? Well, 22295, right? So if we had a bunch of rejections on the 1 hour, what do we need to trust our analysis if price is going to go to the upside? We need a solid 1 hour candle to close above, and we need to be patient on the pullback. If you're in my free group, you guys realize I explained all of this way before the market took place, right? Because the key to becoming good at trading, you got to become systematic. You got to learn the stuff and literally be systematic at it. So there's not really a big secret to everything, right? It's just being systematic, knowing the stuff and being systematic and applying yourself to it, right? So you realize what happened? We had that lower high created, which got broken, price giving us what? A W pattern right here, a nice W pattern, boom, 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 and price breaking above and now giving us a retest. So honestly, I think that we're going to be pushing back into this level right here at 1.23029. That's my overall analysis. But the craziest thing is if I go on the 1 hour chart, on the 2 hour, if I'm correct, well, 4 hour, if I'm correct, you'll realize what really took place, right? We had our patterns on the 4 hour being created. Price doing what? Creating that support, the market reaching here, failing to break here, finally broke it, price pushed up, give us this liquidity grab, price did what? Play around, because this is the zone that started the drop that broke this level. So what we had next was a break of structure. Boom. So now that price is doing this thing, what I'm looking for is probably a pullback into here for me to try to get in on sells back to the downside, right? Because remember, we're literally at our weekly support zone, right? This is the zone we've been failing to break, right? So now that we're back to this zone, let me highlight it. Let me highlight it right around here. Now that we're back at our zone at 1.21889, well, 1.2900 or 1.22000. Now that we're back at that zone, right around here. Now we're back at this zone. What are we looking at? There's a potential trade that could present itself right around here, coming back into this level, and we're gonna keep on selling to try to do what? Break this zone, right? But the key to all of this is we need good news to support our theory. We need good news to support our theory of this market continuing, right? The only good thing so far is that we had what? A nice 4 hour setup. We had market creating its resistance zone, which is what? Our swing high and our swing low, right? Swing high and swing low. So if it's presenting itself, all I'm gonna try to do, I could use a Fibonacci setup, or I can do what? Just strictly let me just go ahead and highlight these. So because I am analyzing the market as I go along too with you guys, right? So right there, right? So let me go ahead and delete this Fibonacci. So there's a possibility price could push back to in this level and give us a sell back to the downside. But, you know, with price giving us that, it's going to help support our idea too about selling on NZD, right? So that's all the information I have. So I'm all right, guys. So what do you realize on US30, right? We realize US30 is actually pushing to the downside, right? So a few weeks ago, I was looking at, you know, what will price do when it gets to 34,000, right? So if I go on the daily, let's push over to 34,000. So we're right over at 34 here, right? So I said to myself, once I'm trading below 34,000, I'm going to stick with sells, right? And that's what I've been up to, you know, sticking with sells as much as I can, right? If I get buying opportunities, I try them just as I explained in my previous video of all the trades I took in the previous week. You guys need to go check that out, right? So if you look, I took buys, yes, but you know, I'll go strong on sells. Why? Because once I'm trading below 34,000, I'm sticking with sells, right? So if I go over on the 1 hour, you guys can see right here that we have price channeling to the downside. If I go to the 4 hour, you can see it a little bit clearer, right? It looks a little bit choppy on the 1 hour on the line chart. So let's go back to the 4 hour, right? So as you guys can see, we had that triple top that we mentioned. We had price constantly, we had price breaking out, we had price retesting that box just the same right there. So let's look at it. We had price doing that. We had price retesting, the market creating structure here, support, and price breaking it. And now price did what? It's pushing back to the upside, right? So, you know, honestly, with US30, what I am looking at is, will US30 continue to the upside, meaning pushing back up to these levels, or, you know, is US30, will US30 get into this zone and then wick from it, which it did here, wick from the zone, and then close back below price 32,132. Why? Let's go to here. Why am I looking at that level? Because on the 4 hour, you can see that that's the last lower low the market made, right? In a sense, the structure, the supply and demand zone to me, right? So, right, you realize what I said to me, yeah, because that's important, right? You're gonna be able to identify your zones as you go along, right? So I realized that. So what I'm looking at this week, to be honest, is what will price do right around here? Will price push up to here, or will price, push in and then reject below and then give us this drop back to the downside? Because if you look at the weekly, it's just a wick, but look at this. Our line chart is just right here. So there's still a possibility for price to do what? Finish out this line chart, to drop it all the way down to here. Because if you look here, where did market structure started, right? Market structure really started around this point here, where the last higher low happened when the market started pushing up. So now I am looking at the market doing what? Coming back all the way down into these levels here. So if I need to adjust this zone just a little bit, I can say, boom, price could come back here. Or if I go back, price could come all the way back down into this area at 30,000, right? 31,000, that's what I'm looking at, 31,000 and 30,000, to be honest, right? Because if we have enough news event to support our theory, then we're gonna be looking for that. Also, why I've been so strong on these sells is because if you look on the weekly, we had what being created here? We had somewhat of a pattern being created, meaning what? Price is pushing up. Let me get this line real quick. Don't pay attention to the messy stuff, but price is pushing up. Price broke out this level and came back to retest, giving us a double top, breaking this neckline area created, going back up, rejecting 34,000. Now we're selling. It's so simple why I'm looking for sales, right? It's not hard. That's why I believe if you understand market structure really well, you can capitalize, right? So for me personally, I am looking at the market completing this weekly line chart that it created, because all we had right here on the weekly is a rejection. Boom, from that strong area, that rejection. So I'm looking at price continuing to the downside, this week, if we have enough news to support our theory, right? And that's key to me. If I can understand just a little bit about news events, I can capitalize more when I'm trading, right? So yeah, I'm looking for potential selling opportunities on US30, but as I told you guys, I'm very selective on the trades I take on US30 these days, because what? I'm trying to be very, very consistent at it, right? So yeah, so these are all the three pairs that I'm talking about: GU, NZD, US30 this week. I'm really on sales, because how the market is right now, I really think a lot of selling opportunities will present themselves, right? Honestly, buys and sells, whatever, but I'm really on sales, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown, right? So let me go ahead and draw this over here. So I'm looking for potential sales, probably going back down to here, or even from here going back down. But as I said, thank you guys for coming to my channel. Please like, share, and hit that subscribe button. All right, thank you.